AppWork is one of our founding sponsors. Much more than maintenance, AppWork is advanced business intelligence. Streamline maintenance workflows and keep an eye on the leaderboard as your service teams enjoy the gamification of maintenance. Visit appworkco.com and transform your productivity today.
Hey there. For today's Maintenance Mindset Minute, I'd like to pass along a story that still is amazing and yet confounding in how simple it is. A few years ago, I got the opportunity to be on stage with Mark Kukrow, Chad Mullen, and Leah Brewer. And Leah was hosting a game of Jeopardy, Maintenance Training Jeopardy. And it was a blast. It was a great event. We had a wonderful time. The simplistic part is that we were playing a game that the focus was to train, to educate the people in the audience about the need for maintenance education. We played a traditional game of Jeopardy with the final answer that we had to come up with a question for. The reason why it's confounding and simple is our final question final answer, mind you, was the most important tool for a maintenance technician to know how to use. So in other words, Mark, Chad, and I had to come up with what that tool was in the form of a question. We didn't discuss our answers before, except knowing what the true answer was. Yes, it was a thing. But what was really cool about it was that without discussing it, Chad Mullen and myself came up with and answered on our pads the exact same answer. And we didn't talk about it before. Now, the answer we came up with that Chad and I were discussing was using a multimeter, or what is using a multimeter, to phrase it in the game show. The answer that Mark gave, which was the correct one, is your brain. But what's fascinating to me about that, and the confounding part, is that both are true and demonstrated by our little game. Meaning, yes, a maintenance technician does need to know how to use their brain, and that was the correct answer. However, Chad and I were both thinking the exact same thing, but we weren't talking about it. We weren't communicating. The profound part of this is you work on a team. There are other people on the team that see a lot of the same things that you do, are confronted by a lot of the same issues that you are confronted by. If you're curious about your answer to a particular thing, how often do you think that it would be a good idea to talk with somebody else about your idea? It is very possible that their answer to the same issue is the same answer that you have, and all it's needed is a little bit of agreement to make something happen. Oh yeah, and remember, keep your brain engaged. What is a brain? Thank you for joining me today. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you somewhere.